NASA believed in establishing new benchmarks for space exploration once the Hubble telescope became the standard. Thus, at the end of 2021, the James Webb Space Telescope, JWST, was launched. The James E. Webb Space Telescope bears his name. He served as NASA's administrator from 1961 to 1968. This telescope is a massive success for space research since it will enable us to discover galaxies we had no idea existed before. The JWST will replace the Hubble telescope in a few years as part of NASA's effort to advance astrophysics. This telescope is intended to be 100 times quicker than the weakest objects that the Hubble telescope detects and to increase the infrared resolution, IR, of images obtained from space. We could never have guessed there would be an object that could inform us about the hidden galaxies outside our galaxy, even though the JWST has been developing for years. If you stop to think about it, it takes more than 2 decades to develop such technology, and speaking of 2 decades, that is the duration of the perfect telescope's mission. Speaking of the background of this telescope, it comes for $10 billion and is the largest telescope that NASA has ever made. This telescope has a primary mirror that measures around 21.3 feet, whereas the sun shield measures 69.5 feet by 46.5 feet. The overall mass of the JWST is 6,500 kilograms. This telescope will also be orbiting the sun at an entirely different Lagrange point, which will assist this telescope in staying in the same line as the Earth. It is predicted that this telescope will take a month to travel 1 million miles to its permanent position. This telescope resulted from the collaboration between NASA, the European Space Agency, ESA, and the Canadian Space Agency. NASA also involved around 300 universities, organizations, and companies across 29 states in the United States and 14 other countries to produce this technological marvel. This telescope will probe our entire physical universe, which we call the cosmos. It will help us to know what secrets this universe holds within it. There will be such significant advantages that the JWST has over Hubble telescope that the Hubble might look obsolete when the JWST operates at its full potential. This telescope will analyze the results of the Big Bang, which is one of its main goals. The idea of the Big Bang is that protons, neutrons, and electrons brought our universe into being. Before the universe cooled and these particles stirred to mix, there was no light. This telescope will delve into great detail about how the universe came into being and where it is today in terms of space after many billions of years. This telescope will concentrate on the structure of matter to examine how various galaxies, both large and small, coalesce during galaxy formation. As they developed from multiple structures, cosmic entities from other structures will be visible. Since galaxies cannot be created or discovered, this telescope will help us in our efforts. However, a recent telescope analysis raises the possibility that James Webb will prove the Big Bang theory false. Large-scale, intricate studies designed to unearth every detail of how particles could behave in those circumstances have been conducted to further the idea's extensive research. It has been thoroughly predicted that galaxies evolve in a gradual manner, with smaller, simpler galaxies predominating in the earlier cosmos and larger, brighter, more complex galaxies emerging later. Webb is also looking into the past as it surveys the cosmos. When you look at the furthest galaxies, you see the light that has traveled billions of years to reach here. According to scientists, some of the galaxies Webb has observed are thought to have formed 300 to 400 million years after the universe's creation. It is incredibly early. The first stars are thought to have formed 250 million years into the history of the cosmos. Webb is now providing our best ever view of the universe's early history. Alexandra Witz wrote in Nature, "The telescope's astonishingly sharp pictures have shattered astronomers' perception about the early universe." The first issue is that discovering these old galaxies is considerably simpler than anticipated. All of the preprint publications express amazement at how simple it was to locate brilliant, old galaxies. According to a team led by Marco Castelliano of the Natural Institute of Astrophysics in Rome, what is most astonishing about this first research is that we have located two brilliant sources, one at well above the expectations, based on prior models. The discovery of an ancient, unexpectedly luminous galaxy may challenge our current understanding of the early galaxy buildup, wrote a team lead by P.A. Osk in the Astrophysical Journal. Rowan Naidu from the Harvard and Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics and colleagues found one bright galaxy quickly. Current theories say they should have searched 10 to 100 times more of the sky before seeing it. There's hardly any space that doesn't have something, he said. Again, all these papers are being released just weeks into Webb's lifetime. This is just the beginning of the beginning, Naidu said. Another problem is the galaxy's constituent parts. According to theories of galactic history, the primary component of early stars was hydrogen, the element required for existence. Over time, these stars used the hydrogen they created to make more complex elements. These more intricate atoms wouldn't exist if you peered into an ancient cosmos. The truth is different once more. According to a study by Jonathan Trump of the University of Connecticut and colleagues, Webb implies that the early universe is substantially more plentiful in substances like oxygen than the models suggest. It has been determined that galaxies formed quite early in the history of the cosmos, to use the words of one researcher. These researchers haven't yet disputed the idea that galaxies slowly evolve. But if this is all we have discovered in a short time, how long will these theories last? Webb exalts the glory of God, much like other early academic investigations. It points to a lawgiver who fashioned the universe by observed laws. However, Webb also openly demonstrates that God is the creator. There are problems with these theories of the universe's accidental and gradual development.